Most people think you need thousands of followers to land your first high paying client. They focus on going viral or getting more followers, but they're missing the one simple strategy that actually works. It's a lot simpler than you think, and it can happen very fast. I'm Tona Lisa, and I use one specific strategy from my truck to land my first client on LinkedIn. Today, we're going to talk about how to sell without feeling salesy. Everybody gets hung up and stuck on this because everyone says, I don't want to sell, I don't want to sell, I don't want to feel pushy. Just treat people how you would want to be treated. You don't have to be a pushy salesman. You don't have to sell that way. What you have to do is first you have to reframe from selling and think about what you're providing, not selling. You're not selling. You are serving the people you need to help. This person has a problem. You have an answer to that problem. So you are there to help them with that, to serve them. You're not there to sell them on something. So you are providing them with what they need to solve their problem. You have to reframe the way you think about it. You can't just only think about it as selling. Yes, it is selling, but it more so is just serving the purpose for your client. What they need help with, you are providing that. So you have to think about it that way instead of selling. And then you won't come off as salesy. You won't come off as pushy because you will just let them know this is the problem you're having. This is how I can help you. And then it's up to them if they want to move along further. So you're not selling, you are providing a service for something that they need help with. So that's the first thing. Reframe. Second, introduce it as a diagnosis method. Okay, you think of yourself as a doctor. When you go to the doctor, what do? They listen. They listen to what your symptoms are so they can provide you with the prescription, right? So think of it that way. Okay, I'm not selling anything. I'm just going to listen to what your problems are, what the symptoms are, and then I'm going to tell you this is how you can take care of that sickness. This is how you can take care of that illness. This is how you can solve that problem by what I have. So you can introduce the method, that diagnosis method. If I'm saying it wrong, forgive me. But you can introduce that method and think of it that way. Okay. They have something that is bothering them. They have an illness, they have a sickness, they have something that is keeping them from being able to do what they need to do. And you have the solution to it. You have the prescription for it. You just have to listen to what the problem is that you can help. Okay? You're not. So that's not selling anything. You are providing the prescription so that they can get healthy and get better. Okay? Then the third one is the power of tell me more. This is you need to use this as much as you can. You need to listen more than you talk. And that's if you're not being salesy, then you're going to be listening because you want to know what the real problem is. If you say tell me more when they tell you something and keep saying tell me more, elaborate. Can you explain that a little more? Can you break that down a little more for me? You're going to get to the root cause. You're going to get to the root pain that they're having so that you can really tell them, okay, I understand that this is what your actual problem is. So this is how I can actually help you. So because usually people when they get on the call, they kind of got a little shield up. But if you listen more, if you listen and you ask the right questions, you can get to the right answers so that you can help them properly. Because they might not tell you the full story right away. But the better you are at listening and asking the right questions, you can get to what the real problem is. And that way you can actually help them. And then you can see, okay, this is how I can help you. You're just providing how you can help them. You're not saying, if you buy this, then you're going to get this. You're not going to handle it that way. So you're not going to come off as salesy. But you also got to make sure that you listen so you can understand what they really need, so they can see if you really have something that can help them in the way that they think they can help. So that's number 3. Number 4, you just have to be human first. Just think about how you want to be treated, how you want people to talk to you, how you want people to come to you. And you have to do that for the people that your clients, or the people that your prospects, the people you're trying to turn into clients. You have to just be that person. And if you just be yourself, you won't come off as salesy. You won't come off as needy. You won't come off as desperate. And that's also another reason that I say, start now. Start while you're working your regular 9 to 5, because you won't be desperate. You have this income coming in over here. That way you can really put your all into helping your client over here, because you're not so desperate and worried about money and worried about this and that. Even if you need more money, you still have some form of income coming in. So that's, a way. Just be human first and treat people the way that you would want someone to treat you. And you won't come off as salesy. So you just have to be, strategic with it. And you have to give value. You have to give value when you talk to someone. You teach them a strategy. You teach them how, whatever, if they come to you and they're seeing that they need help with learning how to speak to their client, then you give them the strategy of how to do that. And then you give real value. And then they'll see, okay, she helped me this much. He helped me this much just on a free call. I need to work with him. You have to give value. You have to, and you're going to have to give things for free when you're starting out. The people that say that you don't, I don't know. They may be starting at a different level than you're starting at, but when you're starting and you're trying to get your clientele up, and you need to get that proof and start working with people, you're going to have to give some things for free. And even when you start working with your clients, you still want to give more than they need, more than enough, because you want to keep working with your client as they're growing. So just remember that, and that is a way for you to that's a way for you to not be salesy. So the next one is, of course, manifestation. Okay, you have to go into it with, okay, I did my research on the person that I'm about to get on the call with. So I'm going to teach from this. I want this to be the outcome. So I'm manifesting how it's going to go. I'm going to set my call up in this way. And that's it for this video. Remember, getting your first client isn't just about strategy, it's about intention. So set the intention, take the action, and get ready to receive. And if you're ready to turn that intention into your first paid client, click the link in the description and book your first client blueprint call with me. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if any of this resonated with you. I'm Tony Lisa Walters. Keep going. Bye.